Mildred Hayes, why did you put up these billboards?
My daughter Angela was murdered 7 months ago. It seems to me the police department is too busy torturing black folks and eating Krispy Kremes to solve actual crime.
DURAN keyboardist Nick Rhodes posted his predictions on the band's website, speaking from a London studio on Wednesday, where he and bandmate John Taylor are working on a new musical. Rhodes said what he loved most about director Martin McDonagh's movie was its great character development.
It was written for the characters, and that part was written for Frances McDormand, and she is a treasure.
But the town is dead.
McDermott plays a bereaved mother who resorts to drastic action to bring her daughter's killer to justice in the visceral drama. It's a role which Rhodes says should earn McDormand the Academy Award for Best Actress.
She was just such a joy to watch, and the premise of the film is fairly depressing. But somehow the human behaviour and the character studies that they were able to pull out of that, because they're such flawed characters in the movie, was pretty extraordinary.
When will the lesson be learned? You cannot reason with a...
Rhodes believes fellow Brit Gary Oldman will take home Best Actor for his portrayal of Winston Churchill in Darkest Hour.
It would take some kind of bizarre international intervention to stop him from winning this year. But I think that's a career vote too. Of course, he's fantastic in the movie, and I've been a big fan for many, many years.
Guillermo del Toro's The Shape of Water, a fairy tale about a young woman's love for a scaly creature from the Amazonian depths, is a fantastic achievement in directing, says Rhodes, who says the Mexican filmmaker will be handed the Best Director Oscar.
I can't imagine what a complete nightmare it must have been shooting those water scenes. And, you know, trying to make sense of a monster movie, a sea monster, and a mute human falling in love. It's quite a bizarre premise to somehow make that work. But I loved some of his earlier films. Well, Pan's Labyrinth, particularly. He's a great visual director.
Rhodes compiles his list of Oscar predictions with the help of Katie Krasaner, who is Duran Duran's website content director.
Katie and I first started doing our own little Oscar predictions probably about 15 years ago, just for fun. And then we'd have a chat about it before the Oscars and just talk about who was likely to win and how the Academy were going to vote strategically and all those things. And she said one day, why don't we just do this for the website? I think the fans would probably really like it. It's a little different, a little quirky. And so we did one, and it became very popular. So then the next year came around, and Caddy said to me, I think we should do it again. And it's become a tradition. I don't know how long for. I would think probably about a decade now.
As well as including their choice of who they think should win, Rhodes and Katie also list who they suspect will win.
I think that it's pretty obvious that people do vote strategically. I mean, there's always the delineation between best director and best film. Well, why wouldn't it be the same person? Because if the best film wins, surely the director who directed that, in theory, must be the best director. But I think it gets split down into these micro categories now, doesn't it? And people say, well, if I'm going to vote for that for best film, I really liked that too, so I'm going to say that that was the best director. And that category this year is interesting because you've got The Shape of Water and Three Billboards, I suppose, are the two favourites. And actually the director for Three Billboards isn't even up for.